Alright, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, we are back for a little more Polaris action, a little more Human Tripwires versus KOVA, which, I mean, first map, didn't disappoint. Time to go into our second. We're going to be heading to Bind, which is Human Tripwire's map pick. They're going to need to win this one to start the reverse sweep, but KOVA really want to hold on to every map they can get. Their chances of getting into the playoffs starting out relatively low. I mean, they can do all they can, but they still need to hope that something goes right for them. But every time they lose a map, that chance gets lower and lower. So they need to start flawlessly winning some games, so we're going to be hoping to see a little bit of that from them, but obviously Human Tripwires, they're going to be bringing their A game coming into this next one. Once again, I'm Twiggy. I'm joined by Got Moxie. How you doing?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one, Twiggy. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to this one, because this is Human Tripwires' pick. They wanted to take us to Bind. It's no surprise that they wanted to take us to Bind. This was the map that they were able to win against Finest in the last week. It was a 13-10 scoreline. And this is where we see the compositions change up a little bit, because Human Tripwires, as you can already see locked in, they like to run the Fade. They do forego, however, the Chamber. They put Radsky instead onto the Viper. KOVA, on the other hand, are coming out with something slightly different from what we normally see from them, because this is one of the maps where they usually ran the Chamber, but this time around they want Shed to still go fast, still get aggressive. They're going to be running double Duelist, Jet, and Raze.
Yeah, it is interesting. Generally, when we see that Chamber, Vicious will pick it up a lot of the time, but obviously on this map, it seems like people like to bring out a bit of Astra Viper, especially KOVA, so Chamber is not going to be on the cards for the team. They're instead going to be running a classic old Jet, a bit of Jet Raze. It's been a while since I've seen like a good amount of Jet Raze.
Yeah,
you know, that feels like a very early 2021 kind of duelist pick. And KOVA seem to love a double duelist, which is odd since it's just completely gone out of fashion.
Yeah, I mean, really interesting as well is that we're not seeing any Brimstone on the table too, right? For a lot of teams who like to go aggressive, they do like using that Brim with the Stim Beacon so you can get that speed boost onto these sites, and it can be very good at breaking out of places like B long, getting your way safely into Garden, and then traversing onto that B site. Instead, Human Tripwires are going to have to be using things like the Prowlers with those Trailblazers to make sure that all of these areas are clear. And unfortunately, without that Jet, it's going to be really hard to be able to get themselves safely into position to be able to use that utility into a pick. However, Mucker, being able to keep in B short, gets a lot of information on where KOVA are, letting the team know that A side is pretty much empty.
Yeah, I mean, KOVA went with an interesting strat, I'm not gonna lie. That was a fun one. Send everybody through the teleporter and back around their own spawn, but, you know, hey, they got a pick. They need to get a little more than that to get the pistol round, but they're gonna play it slowly. They got a little bit of time to work with, but they do need to clear some angles quite quick, but we're gonna start seeing a little bit of maybe lineups coming out from the side of Human Tripwires. If you give them too much time, you don't want to waste a lot, especially when you're playing against a Viper, against a Raze. It doesn't matter. There's Radsky up close and personal with the Ghost. Vicious manages to find two of his own, but he has a little more to do, and the time is ticking down on that spike. They have to start the defuse. The Gravity Well is going to suck him away from that one, and Vicious has run out of time. He gets one more pick for his troubles, but Devo cleans things up, and Human Tripwires take away the first round in pretty convincing fashion, although they do lose 4 players.
Yeah, Human Tripwire is able to win that pistols, and that can buy up into, well, I was going to say SMGs, but this is a tactic we aren't seeing a lot more often from teams. Give your duelist a rifle and let them go to town. It's gonna be a risky gamble, right? If it doesn't pay off, then you just spend a whole bunch of credits, and your opponents are going for pretty much usual eco that we see, the full Sheriff's one. Oh, Sigma's thinking about getting a Ghost, is instead going to be opting for that Frenzy, so you can have a little bit more run and gun action. As KOVA want to go aggressive through A short, want to try and find these players, but Human Tripwires can just hold their positions and wait for KOVA to come out towards them.
Yep, we all know how KOVA like to play on the defense. It's no different here on Bind. Radsky is taken down by a Sheriff of Yesmond there. KOVA have managed to make a lot of space happen. Embo manages to get around the corner, but I think the caller's gone out. All of them at A. Let's head B. Mucker comes around from behind, gets a first pick onto Ale, but there's a few more players there to deal with. In the meantime, well, Human Tripwires have slowed down that attack on B, which has given Vicious a lot more time to get in position. Does mean KOVA can reset once again. They're back in their defaults, but this time they got one player on the flank, and actually puts a lot of pressure on Human Tripwires.
Oh, Yasmin. It's still there. It's just really making it quite hard to push through lobby. Sees the Trailblazer. Can actually be pulled back into the grab well.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, 8 HP reduced. Vulnerable as well, and Stun can't get out of the paint shell in time.
Spike down A.
Human Tripwires, it took them a little bit longer, but they do have control of
left.
that A site, and now it is just Vicious, now rotating over from B, trying to move in
Spike
from Heaven
planted.
with the Sheriff, but is not going to be able to find
Wow.
anything other than Mucker, because now Human Tripwires are in post-plant positions. They can just hide behind the natural cover, wait for the Viper to reveal themselves, and get the pick.
Yeah, luckily, worst case scenario did not happen. You did not give that rifle away to KOVA, although it did look like it could have happened at the beginning. That, you know, the chances maybe Devo was taken down in that push up mid, and maybe they grab that rifle and they just save it for the next round. Luckily, it didn't happen. We can say what ifs all day long, doesn't matter. Human Tripwires managed to get the second round on the board and didn't lose too much on the way in. So KOVA made it hard for them, and I do wonder what KOVA are going to bring out now that they can get into a full buy round, because they have done a lot of damage economically to Human Tripwires so far, even when they've been on lower buys. Devo is going to make his way in, find the first pick, but Sutma's there with the trade. Now, well, Human Tripwires haven't got much out of that engagement.
Both Razor's
pick.
gone. So at least
Yeah.
the grab wells now become a little bit less oppressive. You don't have to worry about grab well into paint shells. Absolutely blitzing your HP. Embo is actually taking full advantage of the fact that you can use that utility while being so far away from your team to try and throw a little bit of a distraction towards that B side, and it's actually buying both Yasmin and Shed's attention towards the B, having to be in position with that crossfire, the guiding light, and then the jet. Dash up B long and punish if it is a push towards there. But Human Tripwires are again going to be looking towards the A, making advantage of the fact that KOVA don't have showers control right now.
KOVA managing to soak up pressure well so far, and now they've sent in Shed from behind. He can do a lot of damage, but there's Ransky. Manages to get the pick, and Robbie finds another one against all odds. Making these picks happen, and maybe KOVA bit off a bit more than they could chew with that flank. Sutma doesn't manage to get the spike planter down either. Ransky, the bodyguard, able to get that one. And Yasmin is now in a 1v3 situation. The odds turned against him, completely on their heads. Knows that Ransky is in showers. That'll have been called out by the teammates, but what can you do about it? The other two players, they've backed up. They've given him space this time. It means Yasmin can get all the way in, but Ransky just gives him that space back and can wait from so far away. It's the luxury you provided yourselves by getting in so easily, and Human Tripwires convincingly take away a bonus round.
Yeah, Yasmin is trying to go for the fight where, you know, it's a 1 versus 1, but gets caught out switching to the melee weapon. And that is something that is immediately going to be punished. And Human Tripwires, it looked a little bit dicey if they hadn't been able to hear that sound cue of the TP and know that Shed was coming up behind them. They would have been pinched in from showers and caught, not able to run onto the site, which was KOVA's plan. At the very least, the defense has now molded the attacking side into expecting flanks like that to be coming on out, so you can't just focus on the side in front of you. You are going to be watching behind to make sure the backstabs do not come through, which is going to force them to be a little bit closer to the site, I'm sure, than they would like, limiting Radsky's impact with that snakebite cycle with the poison orb.
Well, Embo manages to even things up here, which is a good thing, because they're on much higher economy and it's expected of them. Out goes Vicious, narrowly avoiding that Trailblazer. In come the Seekers. Devo trying to get work done around here, and he won't let Ale get away. A nice flick onto his head through the wall. Yasmin trying to get in with the help of the guiding light. Robbie turns around. I'm not sure if he was fully flashed there, but he didn't seem like it. Tapping heads for breakfast. Vicious, Shed, last two players standing, and with their weapons, I don't think it's going to be viable for them to get that spike defused, but they're going to try and get picks at the very least, and Shed is going to start things off, wind up that dash, turn around the corner, look for Embo here, but doesn't realise Mucker's around the corner. It's now just Vicious, and he is going to be taken down in quick fashion. Human Tripwires 4 on the board. KOVA yet to get around, yet to really make an impact at all on Human Tripwires.
Yeah, KOVA actually going to be buying into an operator now. It's the gamble that we expected to see coming out when you are running that jet, right? But human tripwires are doing a very good job of controlling early round contact. And what I also worry about for this operator is that you're going to be going into the flash from the sky, the readout haunt from Mucker, who can then transition into the seize ability. So even with the dash, you're not going to be able to escape the punishment if human tripwires decide to push. And that's before we even discuss the toxin screen. It's going to be making it a little bit harder for you to get any sort of idea on where to push. Talking of where to push, KOVA going to go for the very aggressive defensive play of the Viper's Pit to try and funnel them towards where the operator is playing, but human tripwire is not falling for it. This has become a very predictable move. And Yasmin, seen flanking in the last map, human tripwires are anticipating the sky shenanigans as well.
That is one way to clear a Viper's Pick. Just send a showstopper into it. No chance that they can do anything, and obviously Ali was revealed around the corner. Made it even more difficult. Yasmin comes around from behind, but Devo is completely ready for that. Now they've only got 2 players left. It's Shed and Vicious. Once again, operator in the hands of Shed. And at this point, do you want to save that? I wouldn't really want to risk this, but you're 4 rounds down already. If you let them get away with anything more, they're just going to have bankroll for days. They're all going to be maximum economy. And you won't have anything to show for it whatsoever. Shed is going to aggress up here, but he's still moving as he hits that left click button. And it's a flawless round for Human Tripwires. 5 now, and KOVA, I think they're losing their heads a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I would have called tactical retreat right now. I would have lined up that dash into the TP and booked it with the ARP. Because there was the gamble from KOVA. Dropped the Viper's Pit, pushed them towards the ARP player. Human Tripwires were just able to avoid it entirely. As Devo just make sure that the Viper has to vacate or lose their life. And now KOVA's economy is going to be set back once more. The eco coming through. Stutmo with the judge is going to have to try and hide in one of their nebulas in the hopes that human tripwires are going to walk close enough to that gun to have the impact for their head.
What can KOVA bring out of the bag to put things back in their favour? It looks like a Blade Storm is going to be the answer for now, and Devo is taken out by it. Full reset, very nice, 5 on the board in your arsenal there. But apart from that, the rest of your team, not a lot to work with. Judge, Cosmic Divide out there, couple of Sheriffs. Shed is going to have to do the lion's share of the work on this push, and Human Tripwires are happy to soak up the pressure and wait. Now Embo, he'll come through, waiting for this Toxin screen to go down. And Shed has to back all the way up. Can he turn around the corner and get one more headshot onto these Human Tripwires players, because it is really going to be all up to him in this round to give him something a little more. Sutma though finds one with a jug. Shed's going to be pushed out of this one. Dash used away. Ale gets on the board as well, and so far they haven't dropped a single player, but they've managed to take down all of the Human Tripwires. It's a thrifty, flawless for KOVA. That's a good first round to get.
Yeah, so Yasmin pushes really far out from Showers, gets all of the information that human tripwires are not that. And so for KOVA, there is nothing to push them away from just holding that crossfire. They're the ones with the toxin screen, cutting out your exit from hookers. So human tripwires have no idea. They know where the jet is. You can see that with the snake bite, and they really do try and pin the jet down with the grav well as well to try and catch the jet before the dash comes out. But the second that that utility is used, once again they're blind on where the positions from the players are, and KOVA, knowing that the ticking clock is in their favor, can just hold and wait for human tripwires to come to them. And again, they're going to be going for that same push play. This time though, human tripwires not letting them have showers, gonna punish the fact that they pushed that same space super aggressively once more.
Trinity, you're welcome.
This is heartbreaking. Human Tripwires, we're not having any of that. They got taken down. Maybe they got a little complacent. KOVA managing to get a thrifty flawless, which is a rare sight as it is, but Human Tripwires do not want them to get any kind of momentum off of that. Only 2 players now. This time, it's the other duelist as well as Vicious. They have, again, a monumentous task to retake this one, and every time Human Tripwires get into this situation where they have pretty much all their players alive, they have the spike down, they can just wait around corners, they can play lineups now. Radsky is around the corner. You've got so many agents that can just hold on to this one forever and ever. Devo is now hunting down kills. Ali isn't quite ready for it, but he does manage to get the bullets on the board. Devo gets taken down. Ali with another one. Okay, they've evened things up. Ale is going monster on this one. They won't be able to get the round, but they can definitely take away a bit more economy here from Human Tripwires, which is going to be impactful.
It was something that we saw last week, right? Some of these teams are like, okay, well, we've won the round. We want to make sure that there are massive ramifications for the other side, and they go a little bit too far. They overcommit in trying to ruin that economy, and in turns, they shoot themselves in the foot. Human Tripwires, though, do have a little bit more cash to play with than KOVA, who, once again, if I'm not wrong, decide to gamble up into that operator. We didn't see it find any value the first time it was brought up. In fact, it set the team back 2 rounds in a row, to be honest, when it came to the buys that they were able to afford. And once more, Shed is going to get super aggressive right into the Nightfall, actually, and has to just book it as fast as possible.
Trying to hide.
This is the round we were dreading. Cosmic Divide, Nightfall, Toxin screen all over the place. I feel sorry for the observers, but in the meantime, Human Tripwires are not confused whatsoever. They've got the spike down, they've got out of there, now playing post plants, and KOVA have nothing to work with whatsoever. Look how much space they need to take to get this spike defused.
Radsky's in
The smokes are
position
still
too.
up there. They still need to get all the way forward and make sure they can dismantle the Human Tripwires post-plant positions here. Devo and Embo waiting round in showers, and they can just bide out their time here. Yesman finds the first pick. Vicious takes down another, but out come Human Tripwires now, and it's just Shed left in a 1v2. Operator in hand, but he picks up instead a Vandal. There's no time. He picks up the operator, not managing to hit the shot. He's going to try and get away now, but there's a long straight here, and the rest of the players, they can wrap around and try and hunt him down. Here they come. Shed is going to have to get a collat to get away with this one. He finds one. He doesn't have a dash. Muka will manage to get that operator out of the hands of KOVA. And once again, KOVA managing to get it close, but no cigar.
Yeah, I mean, I just remembered Haven and that collat, and I was just waiting for the same to happen, but Human Tripwires do put a little bit more distance in front of themselves, so Muka is still able to separate the operator from Shed's hands, and it's going to be the Guardian. It's not even the budget Marshal that comes out for them. They know that they have to be able to try and slow Human Tripwires down with the Seekers online for Robbie. They're the ones, though, who are going to be dictating the tempo. Shed's already been pushed back, has to give up perfect control. Yasmin's going to fall back into the Jet's place. If you try and take advantage of the duelist's position being spotted out, you get stunned and flashed. And I don't think you were actually able to spot Devo's location.
Uh-oh. No, that Trailblazer did not see Devo. Trigger control, he's waiting. He just wants to check that he can't get another one. Ale luckily boosts up at just the right time to get that trade, but it's still an unforced error leading to another kill for Human Tripwires, which just puts them on the front foot once again. And they're going to head towards A for an A finish for the 7th time. 8th time, actually. This would be the 8th time. And probably the 8th round win for them as well. Viper's Pit from Radsky gives them even more space to work with. That Haunt is going to give away Sutma's location. Didn't tag him, but at least they now know he's around showers. And they can just start to get that spike down. But they have all the time in the world. 35 seconds left. Sutma sprays into the smoke and manages to get one. 3 players left standing. Shed sprays a little more, and Sutma gets the spike planter once again. They haven't managed to get it down on the ground just yet, and now it's a 2v2, and KOVA are coming back round the corner. They now have a little more control of this Viper's Pit, and in comes Sutma with a 3rd kill. The Spectre coming up massive. Radsky, the owner of the Viper's Pit, saying, no, hold on, can't do that. 12 seconds on the board, though. He has to get the spike down now. He's just going to commit it. Sutma waiting. Now he's going to come around the corner, and he does get the 4th pick. He does wrest back control of the round from Human Tripwires. They get that. 2nd round, and this time, it seems to be KOVA just bringing things from the jaws of defeat on this map so far. 2 rounds that they really shouldn't have won. Human Tripwires maybe getting a little complacent.
I mean, Sutma and Shed were doing so much in that round. At first you think, okay, well, Sutma only has shower control. That's going to get 1 pick, maybe, especially in the Viper's Pit. But uses the plant sound cue to track the location. And then does enough, just goes into the Viper's Pit. And then Shed starts making a commotion and lands, getting a couple of kills. Forces Radsky to come out of their Viper's Pit. The ult drops, Sutma waits for that spike to go down. Radsky has to try and make sure that Sutma doesn't get the spike diffused.
I'm sorry? What?
And yeah, that is a very aggressive KOVA pushing into showers. Shed already gonna be chased out, but Sutma is the one who falls for it.
I'm not gonna... Diva got the kill in the end. I'm not sure how the showstopper didn't get that, but whatever. Robbie, now defending showers from Yesmond, who wants to take this one down with a bulldog, but he's not gonna let that happen. Robbie finds the head of Yesmond, and he gets himself a free orb as well. Now 4 players left on Human Tripwise, and they have their pick of the litter when it comes to sites. It is going to be B where they finish this time. It's the first time they've got the spike down on B so far. KOVA are going to have to retake this one 4v2, but look at Human Tripwise's placement. They're not worried about this whatsoever. 2 players still on A, and they are taking their sweet time to get back in position. Now 2 teleports up towards B short, sorry. And that means that they can just give themselves a little more time, and again, they just have post plants for days. They can wait. Both players stunned up on the spike. Devo takes down 1. Ale completely flashed up, and Ember will finish it off. 8 rounds for Human Tripwires. They're not worried whatsoever.
Yeah, Human Tripwire is really just feeling a lot more comfortable on this map, and I think the pressure is slowly starting to get to KOVA as well. Right? It looked really good for them on that first map, but they know if they want to be able to secure their way into playoffs, they have to get a T0 victory. And with Human Tripwires, not necessarily needing the victory, but just needing to make sure that it goes longer than 2 maps. That's when KOVA really do fall under a lot more pressure than their opponents, and they're starting to slip up and make mistakes. They're going a little bit too aggressively in the exact same predictable positions that Human Tripwires are now expecting. And for just waiting 5 seconds into a round, you're getting the value of 1 pick, so 2 picks. Picks that mean that KOVA can't really recover.
Oh, mate, not scared of anything. We'll just walk all the way through with his classic in hand, trying to find a free pick. Maybe just get a bit of info, but he doesn't actually see anything whatsoever. Sutton turns around the corner. Shorty in hand, doesn't get a lot working. Shorty a little baddie. Radsky will take him down. Vicious does get the trade in the end with the classic.
Hello, Shed.
Uh-oh. Here we go. No, Shed misses the first shot, but he'll make the second count, and he can't quite finish it off, but there's Vicious from behind. He'll get that all done. Sometimes, you know, it's not about the first shot, it's about the last shot. He got 2 of them done, so that's value gained. Embo has to clean up his team's mess now. It's a bit of a task, but Tripwise have seemed very confident on this map so far. They can make it happen. Embo, first pick, Vicious. 2 more to take down. Guiding Light straight into the smoke. It's not going to find him out.
30 seconds
He does have
left.
the spike in hand. He doesn't have a lot of time to work with, though.
Yeah, 26 seconds left, and that's why KOVA have not left the A site. They know if it's a plant, it's gonna have to be in the space where they're standing. Yasmond
I like that idea.
does not yet have the guiding light, so you're not going to be able to flash out the Astra when they walk forward. Potentially going to be picked out from it, but Embo, unfortunately, not really able to try and bait them.
Last
into
round in the half.
At a different angle. Will walk straight in and be deleted.
Yeah, I like the idea. Threw down a smoke that he knew would be visible on the map to the players up towards their own spawn. To fake the B push. In the end, it's not enough.
Spike down.
Can't quite deal with KOVA's good flank there, and it seems like I've always said, find best map to go on a flank. You come around, you get so much value every single time. A lot of the time, this is why you run Sentinels, and there are no Sentinels on either team here. That's the thing. You can't run a Sentinel here, you're going to be absolutely hounded down by these players. Yesmond just runs all the way through. Help of the Nightfall. Takes down Devo. Need a little more than that. Trailblazer. Again, somehow he misses the players every single time with the Trailblazer. Clears a lot of space, but not Mucker. He manages to capitalize on that unforced error. Robbie getting another on the board. They don't want to let this round get away from them. If they can take it to a 9-3, they will. Cosmic Divide stops Ale from getting that pick. He's going to be very unhappy about that one.
I mean, it's his teams. It protects him too. Like, they're seeing that that raid is about to come under the death ball. But unfortunately, it also means that the thank yous from the other side are going to be cut. So you don't know if they've taken the TP. Something which Human Tripwires have actually been able to take advantage of. Ali is so cautious because he does not know if someone's crossed into elbow, he's going to be trying to push you out on the back screen.
Well, Cosmic Divide once again, and that does give them space to work with here on B. They just want to get that spike down right in there. Robbie is just around the corner. Ale is winding up, waiting to go for it, but he doesn't in the end. Thinks better of it, waits for the rest of his team to join him. Instead of being the martyr by taking down that spike, He starts defusing it from the other side. Nobody can hit him. Nothing's happening. The Cosmic Divide will go down in the end, but he's got half for free. Vicious taking down 2 picks. Envo gets on the board onto Sutma, but now it's a 2v2. They're just trying to keep him away. Vicious has done so much work. Rasky trying to take it back. Finds 1 pick. Doesn't quite find the second. Vicious gets a 4K and the spike defuse, and it's all thanks to it being just outside of the Cosmic Divide.
Oh no. Oh, human tripwire served that on a
Switching
platter. Alright, moving very swiftly on, we are going to be seeing the side swap coming on through. KOVA now going to be on the attack. Human tripwires on the defense, and that's where it gets a little bit harder for KOVA to be able to get shed into position with these flanks, because you're going to be walking. Oh, we're going to see a replay, aren't we?
Oh, this is...
You can see the moment that Ali just realizes and goes, aha! Like
yeah, it's like, I see the ring. Honestly, if the Cosmic Divide was a centimeter further into sight, they would have got that down for free. No problem whatsoever. That is the slim margins that make a tactical FPS so close.
It's so painful for human tripwires, but they are at least leading still by 4 rounds. And Bind being defensively favored. Surely they can increase that lead on the pistols. KOVA being very careful with how they commit into this. I'm just worried that they don't have showers control at the moment. They're going to be able to get the spike into the ground shortly, but not having showers control means that Radsky can just hot shot through the toxin screen and try and pick you out.
Taking that back.
Hoping to make it this a little more of an influential pistol round here, KOVA. It's not going to be if Yesman cannot find the head of Radsky, but Ale picks up the slack for the rest of his team. Finds 2 before he's taken down by Devo. Shed through the edge of the wall. It's a headshot. And he'll take out Devo as well. Took a second to catch up with him. Vicious finishes things off. KOVA off to a good start on their attacking half.
Yeah, human tripwires think that they have showers control, but it's actually a really lovely flank that comes out both from Slipknot and Vicious to make sure that you actually get stuck right in the middle of those 2 players. And what human tripwires were hoping would be the position that allowed the rest of their team to come from vents and heaven is actually the thing that means that they're short-handed in the fight. And KOVA are able to secure pistols and start to come back, and they can push up into the SMGs. Human tripwires are not going to be aggressively booking it down places like A short and B short. They are instead just going to be putting a little bit of force and pressure towards Garden, pushing out a lot of utility from KOVA, who have not found any players.
Luckily, time is on their side. They can wait it out. They can feel out that. Take out some utility. Wait for human tripwires to think themselves into a corner. Figure out where they are. Lovely. Look at completely stunned up there. Well, not stunned up, flashed up, sorry. But at least now they know there's probably somebody in hookah, and I feel like, you know, you're on a pistol round. The shorty is inevitable at that point. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be anywhere near that. So KOVA, they're going to head towards A. They're going to go for a bit of a human tripwire special and finish on A, which is where they finished pretty much every round. In fact, they didn't win a single round when they finished on B. So, A seems like the place to be. Human tripwire's already lost 1 player. Well, at least they've done a lot of damage.
1 enemy remaining.
KOVA with the spike down, they just systematically get rid of 1 by 1. Look up. Last player standing. Shorty in hand. Not a lot you can do. I feel like effective range, not quite the same as a Spectre.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the Horn. You can try and see if anyone's close enough to make that shorty count, but KOVA, very wisely, just distance themselves as far as possible. And for Mucka, it is pretty much just going to be looking for exit frags. KOVA are extremely lucky that human tripwires are actually coming in on a pistol buy in that round, because Yasm's guiding light had actually missed Radsky, who was able to fall back into lamps. If you'd had something like a Phantom or a Vandal to really punish that flash miss and get the straight to connect, join the dots,
so
as it were, from 1 player, then it could have been instrumental in stopping them, but human tripwire's not on the buy to be able to capitalize off of that little blip. And now, this is the buy where they can capitalize if that blip reoccurs again. They're coming in with a far better buy. It's a full rifle round, as opposed to KOVA, who are going to be coming in on the full bonus. But for human tripwires, I think they really do need to be able to find first pick against this team, or at least some way of slowing them down. Because once KOVA have got a read of how many players Human Tripwires have posted up on both the A and the B, they just steamroll in.
Bring them down.
Indeed. This is the round that they want to throw things back in their favour. They had a great first half, but they do definitely need to close things out. No matter how good your first half is, you still need to perform after that break. It looks like KOVA have the upper hand so far. Mucker already taken down, a little too close to that toxin screen. It goes down, he's unexpecting. Gets completely shut down. Radsky trying to hold down Showers now. Doesn't find anything. Devo and Radsky get on the board. Devo trying to get a couple more, but he's going to be pushed down as he takes out that paint shell. Sutma takes down another one. 3v2. Looks like attacker's side is just the side to be on. Vicious finds another. Now it's Kusembo left. At this point, save that rifle, I think.
Yeah, save the Vandal. Absolutely.
3 in a row for both attacking teams.
Yeah, I think for Human Tripwires, like, again, they see that KOVA are pushing in, they try and slow things down. I think Mucker was actually, like, getting into position to, I would expect, try and throw a seize, so that you can know that if the players are pushing, they're going to be stuck in the AoE circle, and the rest of your team can spray through the curtain and connect their bodies. Toxin Spirit. It does obscure sight, it doesn't stop bullets. Unfortunately, though, like, trying to get the information on whether KOVA were to your left, to your right, or directly in front of you to know where to throw that seize. They put Mucker a little bit too close to the action, and KOVA hear the fade to the other side of them and are able to connect that spray. And from there, Human Tripwires have suddenly lost not just their members, but also that main denial, that delay power that defenders rely on being able to float their players from these two separate sites, something that KOVA is really punishing, because they're not going for fakes, they're not causing commotion on other parts of the map. All of the team is all into each of these sites, at least so far. This is a little bit different from how we've seen them in the previous round, and this might actually mess with Human Tripwire's perception on how exactly this attacking team is pushing through. But
No,
there's the
Shed, that's
seize!
no.
Shed
no,
tries to updraft through, but the paint shell from Devo is the final nail in the Jet's coffin.
That's not going to happen, Shed. Unlucky. Not a single player, or not a single agent in this server can get away from that. So, yeah, Devo's going to get a free kill there. Ale, get some revenge on Mucker. How dare you do that? Now they're going to push in. They're going to try and take that site down. Luckily, they have a lot better weapons, but Devo only needs to hit one shot. Does plenty. Vicious, coming through lamps, manages to take down two, and they get themselves some space. They can get into a little post-plant position. They still have their Viper and their Sky available, which is very good for keeping a hold of this site. Robbie is going to come through in lamps, and I don't think Vicious is expecting that whatsoever. A straight shot to the head with the frenzy. That'll do the job perfectly. Trailblazer to try and clear one area. Now they know both players are in Showers, but Robbie, he's in a 1v2. The Seeker is going to figure out exactly where he is, especially if it just hits him. Lovely. Perfect. Gives him less time to get the spike down. Perfect.
Oh, and it's giving
the
KOVA
time
time
does
to get
tick
the
down.
pinch as well.
Oh.
Look behind you, Robbie. Yasmin's going to be coming up from short, and he's
Oh,
not
he's looking the
expecting
wrong
it.
way, and there's no time left. Yasmin!
Okay, Robbie, 180.
No!
I was waiting
Robbie
for
didn't
the
deserve
penny
to be
drop,
treated like that.
Twiggy. I was
Robbie
waiting.
didn't deserve. I didn't want to speak until we knew for sure. Robbie did not deserve that.
Robbie deserved to get that debut.
He deserved that round. Oh,
Oh, can we put a little asterisk on the skull
yeah.
line?
Right up there at the top. Can we like split it down the middle, red and blue? 'Cause,
8.5.
yeah. Oh.
We're gonna see it in slow mo in just a
It's
moment.
so.
Ooh.
That's just heartbreaking. I mean, Robbie, heroic,
It's a
right?
little delay,
and then
right?
he thinks, you
Yeah.
know what? Maybe he's not there. Turns around, flicks onto Yasmin's head, one shot, and he misses it by 0.2 of a second. Oh my god! Ale has his showstopper out, and he is dead. And here's another showstopper. And there's nobody around. Unlucky, Devo. Well, that's two. That is 16 ult points gone immediately. No value.
What it does mean, though, with both showstoppers removed, and actually Ale gone as well, is that it's safe enough for Radsky to invest that Viper's Pit, knowing full well that you're not going to get showstoppered or paint shelled out of it. And it's forcing KOVA away from that A side, away from the toxin screen. So Robbie is going to have an absolute smorgasbord in a moment if KOVA don't have split focus and try and overwhelm the sky from separate angles.
Well, they've read this rotation quite nicely. It's whether they can deal with it well. Look at who's going to be first contact, but he doesn't manage to see anything, and the timing from the push on Shed is perfect to cut him out. Robbie finds one head, but isn't quite ready for Vicious to come around the corner that quickly, and out will come the Viper's Pit to give them even more space. Devo's going to have to push quickly now if he wants to get anything done, but that Snakebite is going to completely stop him from getting in. Now, this is really the impossible. Honestly, retaking this one. Yasmin finds the first pick. It's just Radsky left. He has his own Viper's Pit. Oh wait, no, it's already down. He can't do anything with it. I forgot that was used immediately once again. Every ult was used this round. He has to do a lot of work. Vicious won't let that happen. A 4K from him. He's done so much work this half, so much work this map. KOVA, they do not want to drop a map today.
Yeah, KOVA taking full advantage of the fact that for human tripwires, they had to panic drop the Viper's Pit to stop any momentum that KOVA could pick up towards that A site.
Here.
And so KOVA take advantage. They see, okay, well, you've used your Viper's Pit. We don't need a Toxin Screen as long as we've got enough players to look for trades. You're able to spot out Yasmin's position, or rather, Robbie's position. Shed moves forward. You're able to get the trade. You secure a backside. You can drop a Viper's Pit. You can tripwires. You're stuck on that A site. Not going to be able to rotate in time to be able to stop it. As KOVA now being extremely wary of opening contact. They've seen that Mucker is now actually starting to throw those Caesars, and that Devo is using the pain shells to push that utility usage into picks. And instead they're having to give up 5 seconds into the round, which means that they're not going to have the utility to push Radsky away.
Spike down A.
Oh, even Tripwires have had quite a nice time of it so far. They haven't really run into anything difficult whatsoever. Now, can Vicious bring out another, 5 kills and get himself even more? Possibly. Let's see. He's in a 2v5, Yasmin by his side. Not a lot of utility to use. No Trailblazer. Just got his Guiding Light back up. And he is coming round from showers instead. And, this is a pretty monumentous task. But Yasmin finds the first pick with no problems. Still a lot to clear, and he's going to use that Guiding Light to get round the corner. The crossfire from Radsky is going to stop him from getting that pick, and Vicious now has a lot of work to do. And he's caught in a trap. He finds a pick onto Mucker. Still 3 players to deal with. Spike is down across the other side of site, as far away from him as physically possible.
Yeah, and human tripwires are just making sure they don't die. The fact that he's caught in the seas and no one puts themselves into the potential space to be taken into a 1 versus 1. Vicious will fall, but we'll take another one along with him. Human tripwires evening things up 9-9, but losing those 3 players and now buying up into the operator as well. It's a gambit for this defense. They have to find something to work with, and when you're playing up against what is quite literally the Observer's nightmare of not only 2 Astras but 2 Vipers as well, like there's so much that is just going to shut down these sightlines from that operator. What you can do though is rely on Mucker to set things up for you with Seize into an op shot, and they're really wanting to see if players are close enough to use that Seize the Prowler invested to see whether or not you want to throw the Seize towards a shot for Devo to then use that op to finish things off. Seize the leg, isn't able to find a pick.
Well, focus shifts towards B for KOVA. It's been quite successful for them so far. It's where they found all that success in the first half, really. Been quite happy with it in this half as well. But it is an evenly matched round. Lots of utility being used to slow down the attack from KOVA. Human tripwires just trying to keep them back. At this point, KOVA have proved their efficacy in their attacking side.
Yasmin's doing a really good job of faking towards the A site, but Radsky, seeing no one's coming after that Guiding Light,
Wow.
is backing out. Seeker's invested actually to really try and sell, and Human Tripwire's 3 players actually going to be dealing with only the 1 player. They have no idea that it is only the 1 player. Meanwhile, KOVA more than happy to overrun the remaining defense towards that B site. Devo dropped down to 29 HP, still has the operator. Yasmin walks straight into its head.
I mean, they've already done the job that they wanted to do, though. They have kept him occupied. Devo, with the operator in hand, is the only player left on the human tripwire side. 1 versus 3. He's going to save that. There is no chance in hell he is going to try and retake 1v3 on B site here.
Yeah, not with
that operator in hand and 29 HP. I don't think that's going to happen. So.
And Tsugi, say it with me, it's always on bind too. KOVA sacrificed one of their players for the greater good.
The greater good. Indeed.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes, oh no. I mean, he heard the TP.
Oh, of course, but somebody might be coming from CT. Oh, well, now he knows all of them are TP, but still, numbers, they're not really checking. They don't care.
Yeah, Vicious, really like, for KOVA, they know, despite them currently being in the lead, it is not a big lead. And they're fully aware that their economy can just shatter at the slightest notice if human tripwires are able to use things like the operator to find these picks, especially with them being so close to ultimates. They've got Nightfall, and we've seen, right, you look at how they were pushing A short on that previous round, that they are now properly committing in that Fade utility at the start of these rounds to try and set this operator player up. This time it's going to be on B shot with the guiding light, but Devo actually gets flashed out, and then the Trailblazer to make sure that you are not only just flashed and momentarily pushed back, but pushed back for good.
Whatever I said, whatever I did. Get it? Take that back to anyway. KOVA. Pushing in showers. They managed to take down that first pick. Muka and Embo still holding the fort here. I think that pushing power from KOVA seems to just be incomparable. Embo, 2 with the Guardian, and Devo comes in from behind. Saves the day. Devo gets another one through triple. Oof, almost finds the third as well. Shed now has a 1v4 to deal with. Bladestorm available. Picks up the spike. Gets out of dodge. Embo is going to clear the corner. He's on very low HP with a Guardian in hand, so it doesn't really matter if he loses his life. He will get taken out. Let's give Shed something to think about at least, and he's going to rotate all the way around as quick as possible, try and get that spike down now.
I mean, he does unfortunately not have the Cloud Burst, but here it does.
Oh, fake.
Yeah, fake with that spike, just to see if human tripwires are close enough to contest. Well, then plant in tube. Start to pull a little bit further away. Does at least have the Vandal.
Uh-oh.
But this is where it gets
exactly
hairy.
where he was.
Because human tripwires, like, they've got the operator, they're trying to set up a crossfire. Shed being very much aware of the potential, trying to separate these fights out. Has the dash lined up, has already dropped one of the players. It's just a 1 versus 2. Human tripwires have to actually commit the Nightfall to try and push Shed out of the way, confused without the thank you, able to drop down and overwhelm the jab. But still, it's a lot invested into a 2 versus 1 because they really know. They just brought up into an operator. They just full bought into 4 rifles as well. They needed to win that round, otherwise they would have been ecoing into this one.
I mean, I don't blame them whatsoever. From what they've learned this half so far, you give KOVA an inch, they'll take a mile. They will go all the way.
Yeah, Shed especially actually has
just managed to even things up. Like, that is... It's a tough task now for human tripwires. What went from a 7-1 game, 8-1 in fact, I think, has suddenly not been... Oh no, 7-1, 7-1, 8-2.
Oh, Toogie, it's the Fade special. There it is.
Oh, here we go. It catches Yesmond. He gets around the corner. What? He gets caught by it anyway.
Yesmond!
How? Bladestorm, no value. Radsky, Muka, on the board. Oh no, KOVA. What has happened? Vicious, it's all up to you. You've had your heroics all game so far. You need a little more. Viper's Pit
is actually going to drop it.
Yeah.
Immediately though.
Not utilizing it.
Has to try and get away.
This is good. This is good. Can take out Devo for free. He's just round the corner of the Viper's Pit. He just got away from him. And there's somebody coming on the flank now.
Yeah, and he's going to have to get into the Viper's Pit once again. Like, yeah, Smoke Integrity is back up to full, but now it's just Ally, and you can see that flank coming through. They're fully aware that it is potentially going to happen. But they're literally just having to make sure that Vicious keeps dipping back into the Viper's Pit, and because of having to trade positions constantly, they haven't got the spike down. This is when it gets tough, but Ally's been able to find 2. Human tripwires, they may not have the Viper's Pit, they've got the Showstopper.
Oh, he's just going to push this one down. Go for that spike plant as quick as possible while you have the time. Heard the footsteps running away from Devo. Can give himself a little bit of space. That showstopper is not going to get any value. But there is another showstopper in play. Devo can utilize it. He's right up close. He doesn't manage to get it off before the headshot comes through, and Ale can still win this round. The 1v1 war of attrition. Embo playing a game here, and he finds the head of Ale, gets a spike defused, and Human Tripwires take it one round closer, but it is neck and neck between these two teams. KOVA fighting with everything they have to give themselves the best chance of getting into the playoffs. Human Tripwires do not want to let that happen.
Ooh, for a second, KOVA had that. They're just not able to finish off that last Astra player. The fact that the showstopper pushed them out, but really it is that moment where the Seize comes in, the paint shells comes out, and you're lacking your Sky, you're lacking the flash that you're relying on, making sure that the team can move from A short, one of the deadliest positions to push, not having things like lamp control or shower control onto that A side. And it does mean that you just don't have the numbers to be able to survive. It's costly on the side of Human Tripwires too, but they've still got the operator. And they've still got a couple more ultimates to play around with as well. Radsky with the Viper's Pit. And with what KOVA has now witnessed with those early levels of Seize, you're not going to be putting yourself into position to tag the Viper out when that ultimate gets activated, something that is used to counter the defenders pushing up aggressively and using a Viper's Pit to cut off one of these choke points. Because if you do, if you're in position to pick out Radsky, Maka and Devo are just going to tag team utility absolutely trounce your health bar.
Up I go.
KOVA, in the space of 4 rounds, have gone from on top of the world to hardly able to buy. But they need to. They can't really let this slip away from them now. They've done so much work to get up to here. They need to keep this momentum going. Devo, smoked out. Doesn't see any KOVA players. Brings out the boombot, which does put away his operator for just a second. It might be enough time for KOVA to gain a foothold around this corner here. The Cosmic Divide is used, and they're just going to rush it down. Devo doesn't want any of that. None of that smoke. Get me out of here. I don't want to be anywhere near that. He's going to back all the way around the corners. That is Cosmic Divide invested from both teams now. They're moving in. X marks the spot. It's just outside Lamps. Is that where that? Yeah, just outside Lamps. Lovely.
Yeah, but Human Tripwire still have control of A side and the corner that KOVA are trying to sequester themselves into. The operator, at least, has been pushed to the sidelines. But the second that KOVA are able to push into half of this fight, it's going to be coming back on in full when those nebulas disappear.
Embo opens up the kills. KOVA still haven't managed to get the spike down yet, and they're just waiting, making sure that they can't get that done, but the smokes dissipate. Devo finds a pick to trade out Ale. His teammate killed. It's a 4v3 now, but the onus is on Human Tripwires to retake this one. They're coming in from both sides, but Sutner will fight his way into Lamps. Find the first pick. Robbie there with the Bulldog, finds one, but Sutner's there with the trade on that one, and he's going to do a little bit more work. You remember when he got that 4K through the smoke last half? He's going to be looking for a little more of that. Devo finding the shot onto Yesman. There's 2 players left to deal with for Sutner. He finds one with the Classic. He still has a rifle in his hands. He doesn't want to use it, but Devo does want to use that Classic. He'll get the round, and they'll make it. Match point. Human Tripwires trying to go for... I mean, it's been so close. Both games so far have been absolutely neck and neck, and if this goes to map 3, KOVA are not going to be happy.
Yeah, classic combo. Kill him in the long range with the operator, and then the second that they're baited into contesting that spike defuse, pull out the shotgun, and bam, straight into the skull. But for KOVA, they know if they can get this round to Human Tripwire's economy, like, they're winning the round, sure, but they're losing so many of their players for so many times. Human Tripwires are winning the round at only having 2 players, 1 player left. The problem for KOVA is that they don't have the Cosmic Divide this time. They don't even have the rifle rounds, and so Human Tripwires can just push up through the nebula. Embo goes, but once again, Yasmin has fallen, and now KOVA, lacking those flashes, aren't able to clear this guy who's waiting by that TP.
So far, Human Tripwires have been traded out every time. They have not got the value they wanted from that push. Lost 3 players pushing straight into the ranks of KOVA players, but Devo's waiting outside the teleport. He'll find the first pick. The trade is a little late, but it gets there in the end. Ale managing to find his 3rd trade in this round. Now Radsky is all by his lonesome against 2 KOVA players to finish off this map and send them to map 3. Send them to that final chance to take this series. And he's going to play it slowly.
He doesn't even need to get the pick at the moment. With 47 seconds left, you can just push yourself into the lineup spot in lobby. Snakebite isn't all, but he's going to be pushing into Kirby. Ale caught unawares. Radsky now sees Spike has been planted. Thankfully, Sutma has the 2 nebulas to be able to activate and disguise, cloak the Astra's location. Radsky still has Lamp's control and can start to go hunting, sees the leg of the Astra, pulls out the snakebite to try and force Sutma into the retreat. But Sutma is faster on the trigger finger, and KOVA are 1 round away from pulling us into overtime.
KOVA are hanging on by the skins of their teeth. Collective teeth. How many teeth is that? 5 people? I don't remember how many teeth
are we counting like 1 row of teeth? Because then it would be like 10 rows.
Well, there's skin on every teeth. Every tooth. Surely. How many individual teeth does every person have, and then times that by 5, surely? And that's how many skins they are hanging on to. We have 2 maps to figure out KOVA's win chances of going through a regional. It's probably the same amount as the skins on their teeth, honestly.
Yeah, this is probably how hard KOVA's brains are working right now to try and figure out how exactly they're going to win this round, and it is just going to be use the Trailblazer to figure out how many players from Human Tripwire are holding on to that B side, but are a little bit late. Robbie's not able to find the opening for the rest of the team, but in trying to clear Elbow, Embo is put into a position to be able to use the Sheriff to connect with Shed's head. Evo not going to be able to deny that plan either, has the satchel pack onto backside through the Cosmic Divide, and Human Tripwires, we're going to be going into overtime.
KOVA have made it work once again. Human Tripwires were on an awkward bite.
Overtime.
So KOVA take their advantage and run to the bank with it. They're going to be taking out the operator here on the defensive half in the hands of the Jet. It's a unique positive to having that Jet here on Binders, being able to bring out that operator in situations where maybe Human Tripwires can't quite. They don't really have anybody who is amazing. Agent-wise, not obviously the players are great, but agent-wise, there's nobody who really advantages from having that operator in their hands. Raises a bit clunky with an op.
I mean, it's not just clunky, it's also really punishing, because you're not running the chamber, so you can't rendezvous out of the seas. And Shad just wants to get aggressive, just wants to find a pick in that tiny sliver into lobby. Sees the pucks on screen, does not actually go for the shot, and has to dash to try and get away from being caught by Human Tripwires, who are able to draw first blood, and the terror trails connected onto Shed, giving away the Jet's location and showing that they have not yet rotated closer towards the B side.
They're not taking anything and running with it yet. You can see, not scared, but respectful of KOVA here. I don't want to give him too much to work with, so they back out and wait a little longer. Yesman taps Radsky in the head before he can get any further through, but Embo is wrapped around behind, finds the trade, and Shed is too close for comfort. With that operator in hand, it's now 2 players left. Sutma, Ale. Ale? Ale. Let me take that. I looked at it and I was like, Guinness.
Oh, Human Tripwires have looked at TP, because Sutma unfortunately gave the location away, spraying through that wall. Ale has to actually invest a satchel pack in seeing whether or not someone was pushed up through that nebula and waiting for Punisher to try and move into backside. Just is able to sidestep the Seas from coming on through, but with 1 Vandal, no satchel pack, no paint shells, no lineups. It's gonna be a gargantuan task to be able to find not just the kills, but the round win.
Nice attempt. Not much could have done. At the very least, something was attempted. KOVA now on the back foot, heading into our second round of overtime. Shed this time is going to opt for the rifle here on the attack. And I mean, this is the half that they have been more successful on. I guess in a sense we didn't really expect them to take the defensive half, but at some point they are going to have to do it.
Yeah, and I think I'm more concerned for KOVA than I am for Human Tripwires, because for Human Tripwires we've seen, right, they do have very fast win round start setups with the Seas, with the paint shells, which is something that denies KOVA. Look at how passive they're currently having to be around A short. Jared is actually going to be pushing towards showers, but there's the Seas And Human Tripwire mixing things up, waiting for Shed to get too aggressive and use that dash to give the position away, pushed into a position where the Thieves can immediately clutch them, and then you just punish the duelist. How are KOVA going to be able to get themselves safely onto the site? They do have one Skye with a guiding light, but where's the rest of the team? You're sacrificing your Skye to try and sell the bait. It's a B push.
Yasmin is well in here. There's 2 players to deal with. He's
Nathan.
just going to wait. Hello. Finds Robbie, turns around the corner, gets ahead off Embo. Well formulated. Now they can move in towards B, but it is Human Tripwires who are going to be running all the way over, and they do have time to get there before that spike can get all the way around. Vicious has it in hand, going Fountain all the way to B long. So KOVA trying to take space and stop Human Tripwires from getting in whatsoever. Spike passed over to Yesman so that he can get the Seekers up, which he will use probably absolutely immediately. Here they come. I'll find out exactly where these last 2 players are, both over towards CT. And one player all the way back. One in elbow. Arlate taking space and making sure Muka can't get round the corner and retake this one, but he tries to break the haunt instead of playing around the corner. Yesman could have broken that haunt. He will manage to find the pick though. Bringing it down to a 3v2. Devo on very low HP, but Radsky, everything to work with. Obviously taken down immediately. Phantom in hand. Radsky trying to do even more, but there's too many targets to deal with, and it's 13-13 KOVA. Take back their attacking round, but they do need to get a defensive round to take this one back.
Oh my goodness, Twiggy. Like, you can see from how far KOVA are from that B site, they are not expecting to pick that site up. It was very much to sacrifice
Yasmin.
one of your players to create the noise, and it is the fact that Yasmin's able to find not just one, not just get the information, but pick out the 2. I would have been petty. I would have gone for the knife pick.
Oh yeah, no, I understand trigger control, but he really went for a hug for a while there. There was some time. There was some time spent there. He just wanted some. He wanted some love. Came in from behind, and just 2 seconds he was rubbing up against the back.
That could
Is
have
that
been,
even safe for the broadcast? Are we allowed to show that?
that could have been very dangerous. But for KOVA, this is also dangerous. The fact that Human Tripwires, every single time there's been early round contact, Human Tripwires have been the ones who've come out on top and then spiraled that into a round win. And the fact that KOVA, despite being on the defense on bind, cannot aggressively push and look when you're running both the Jet and the Raze. For that first contact to fall into your favor.
Uh-oh.
Shed almost not able to pick up Mucky, but is able to get the fade. And Devo, actually, the paint shell hits the ceiling. Not just to hit Ali, but also does a little bit of damage to the Raze themselves. It means that you can't push Hooker,
man.
you have to retreat back to A short. And that's the crossfire that KOVA have set up. The guiding light, not going to be able to catch the members out, but still slowing them down from pushing.
I think the win condition really for both teams is to win a defensive round. Both of them only got a quarter of the rounds on their defensive half on the board. I think the first person to win that defensive round is going to have the better chance coming into this one, but Radsky takes down one. Shed on that, but Devo is straight on the trade, and it makes it a 3v3. They haven't quite got the spike down, but they're safe in position. Sutmer is holding it down, making sure that Embo can't leave that corner, but they're already in nice positions now. They've set up a crossfire, one player towards Showers, the rest over at Lamps. KOVA trying to retake, meticulously clearing corners. Robbie finds the first pick onto Vicious, who goes around a little too aggressively. Robbie taking another one down, and it is the attacking side that take the round. Once again, KOVA have to bring it back for a second time.
Yeah, Devo, despite only being on 10 HP, is still alive with a satchel pack. That's a Raze who has Lamps control that you cannot challenge. So KOVA, unfortunately, not able to push themselves out of sight from where Robbie is holding, making sure that you don't get bitten from Showers. And it is really going to be a question of, are Human Tripwires going to be able to pick up this defensive round? They're pulling out the timeout. They know that defense has been the side that both of these teams, despite us being on bind, are historically defensive favored map. It is going to be a little bit harder. This is the tide that both of these teams have struggled with. However, again, you do have to fall back into that mentality that Human Tripwires are the one who consistently have been able to pick out first blood on their defense. This fade is getting so much value, even if it doesn't find the pick. It's stopping KOVA from getting aggressive. Shed is going to have to be so careful about how the rest of the team sets this Jet up to enter into the site, because you can flash, you can stun, you can try and dash in, but if you get caught in the seals, all of the utility that KOVA used to try and get this Jet safely into the rest of the team can follow in the footsteps is annihilated.
About there.
It is
That should work.
not nice to be on the back foot every single overtime half, but both teams, well, luckily, Human Tripwise started on the attack. It means they get the first bite at the cherry. They get their safe round every time on this one. Ah, Kissy. Kissy from the Goosebumps. Love that. Devo does not want to go Kissy with it. Ale, he'll back all the way up.
Jed doesn't want to enter. Look
No.
at how passive that Jed
Nobody
is
wants to go
being.
anywhere.
And what's worse,
Taking
they're
that
starting
back.
to just get closer and closer to Mucker. Like, this is what KOVA is doing. They're aggressively pushing forward. Submarine even actually invested a very early grab well to see if Human Tripwise were going to aggressively push out either Devo or Robbie to try and secure very early showers level. And they're trying to spot out the Fade. Until they see where the Fade is, they're very reluctant to play. It's that same toxin screen, actually, that punished Mucker from getting a little bit too close to it to give the team confidence to push up from short.
In they come. Spike is going down, and they will get it completely down. Lovely for them. Oh, a barrel of a gun seen by Ale. He'll not push the issue too much, but now he comes around the corner looking for a trade. He finds one, but he can't quite find the person who killed the rest of his team. Ale and Sutton are getting both on the board. Onto this one, the showstopper is used. It has not been sent out yet. Ale is waiting for this one. If he just puts it into the right corner, it would find a pick, but it does not. Robbie stays alive.
Enemy remaining.
And he finds one pick onto Sutmer. It's now just Ale trying to defend this 1v2, and all he has to do is waste time, but they know exactly where he is now. He'll find the first pick, and he won't quite find the second. The shorty from long range once again will give Human Tripwires bind and give them the opportunity to come back into this one for the retake. I mean, what a close
Defenders
map.
win.
Oh, for KOVA as well. This is where it gets so tough, because we talked about it, right? We said that KOVA needed to win both of their matches, but they needed to win them determinedly. They needed to
Yep.
2-0, and this not being a 2-0, not only are they now going to have that stressing on their mentality, they're also going to have to look at how close they came and continue on in the series.
Yeah, it is really bittersweet here, in that we love to see Human Tripwise doing that, but every round that KOVA lose brings them less and less and less chances of coming back into this one and getting themselves into the playoffs. And once again, last stage, we'll remind you, they came within a hair's breadth of getting into playoffs, but missed out, like just a couple of maps. And now, it's looking like it might be the same thing again. Human Tripwise, these are directly competing with KOVA to get into the playoffs, and if they beat them in this game, they're going to be almost guaranteed a place, and at the expense of KOVA. If KOVA lose this, they have no chance, as far as I can tell. Well, no, they have a chance, but it's not even remotely good.
Yeah, and you really can see the difference. When Human Tripwires were like, wait, paid utility? Paid utility
my.
early on in these rounds, that was when that defense just started putting those rounds back to back to back to back. And yeah, KOVA had some amazing rounds where we got to see Yasmin really digging in. Shed and Sitma were both able to pull out some amazing clutches in outnumbered fights. But it was just the fact that the Human Tripwires having that fade on the side that they were able to combine utility from Devo with just meant that being able to dictate that tempo, that pace, and burn the seconds off the attacking side, really making them use so much utility and being very hesitant, very passive, checking all of their corners and trying to make sure that Mucker was taken out or at least spotted out, so that you know it's safe for Shed to get onto the site, allowed them to just walk away with those defense rounds.
Vicious puts up 307 ACS, but even that is not enough to dethrone the MVP of the game with 30 kills. It is Devo, the duelist for Human Tripwires there, and absolutely doing his job and more. I think that may have tipped the balance in the favour of human tripwires more than once in a few different rounds, and that is really all the difference you can make. And Bind is one of those maps where Raze is such an important piece of the puzzle. You throw down some good utility, especially in combination with now, you know, your Fade utility. It is going to do a lot of damage. It is going to make sure that nobody can go anywhere because those corners are so tight, and if you can stop somebody from pushing in, you can stop them from getting the plant down, you can stop them from getting too many rounds, and it really was the win condition of that defensive round. Human Tripwires come away with it. They get that chance at the reverse sweep. It is KOVA who have to try and keep this one alive for themselves, keep themselves in a chance of getting into the playoffs. We'll see how they do in the next map, but we're going to take a short break, let the players cool down, because I think that is going to have taken a lot out of them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Alright.
Oh my god, I don't know. It looks like Thanos. I'm checking Astra.
Bridge. Sova.
Sova.
Sova. Strong shoulder.
Sova.
Wait, it's not Fade? Wait, it's Sova?
Bro, you're the guy who's playing
Yeah, what is it?
Is that Fade?
What's
I
happening?
was so confident. I actually thought it was Fade.
No Sova?
Omen.
KO? KO? Okay, I got it. What?
Bro, just say every agent. What do you mean I got it?
Bridge.
Do you say breach all the time? I say
Guys, Rim.
Cypher.
Cypher.
I say it's Sova.
I said Sova. Oh,
Nah, no
right.
sure. I'm a Sova main. I'm telling you, it's not a Sova. It's a breach or a brim.
Oh,
Ooh,
damn.
Brimstone main, let's go!
Sova.
Wait, it's
Oh,
not. That's
Robbie,
not.
Devo
That's
is
no way.
trolling.
Sova. You guys are trolling. You guys are, this is not Sova. What is that?
Bro,
There's no
every
way.
agent looks like Sova.
Yeah.
Huh?
Jet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, my
Bro.
God.
No one plays.
Oh, I should know this one.
Oh, that's cute. It's a cute little one.
Snowman. Which snowman is it though?
Yeah, which one is it?
I've been talking to that snowman for a while.
Oh no.
Devo. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's go.
My position is bad.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was Icebox as well.
Yo, where's this at, man? I don't go looking at all the details.
What?
I'm pretty sure there's something in the sky outside.
Yeah.
It's like a spawn saying hello to me
The
every
same,
time
I
I
have
spawn
the
there.
same idea.
Yeah, it's the ice cream bit, isn't it?
Wait, what?
Oh,
Yes.
no.
I played the game too much, so.